Magnitude of a vector in a coordinate plane. If v is a vector and it has the initial point x1 and y1 and the terminal point x2 and y2, then the magnitude, and remember that means like the distance, hypotenuse, or radius, this length here, could be found using the distance formula. Now this happens to be on our formula chart. If we look at the formula chart, this is the front page that we use all the time for trigonometry. If you go to the back page, you will see it down here under coordinate geometry. Here's the distance formula, which is the same thing as the magnitude formula. That's what the magnitude is. It's the distance of a hypotenuse. So that's your formula right there. So let's look at this. It says find the magnitude of AB with initial point A of 1, -3, and a terminal point B, 1, -3. Well, if you just watch a video from example 1, we came up with that the vector AB is equal to 0, 6. So there's two ways of doing this. One is, if you already know what the vector is, you could just say, okay, I'm saying be like finding the hypotenuse of this. So you would say h squared equals 0 squared plus 6 squared, which means that h squared equals 36. 0 plus 36 is that. And once we take the square root, it's always an absolute value here. So we're not going to do the plus or minus that we would normally do. We'll just say that h equals 6. And so the way you would write this is you'd put absolute value. That means, usually we just means that means positive, but it can also mean magnitude. The magnitude of AB is equal to 6. And that would be our answer there. You could do it this way. Or if you did not know the vector to begin with, the other thing you could do is just use that distance formula. So you could say that AB, the magnitude of AB, is equal to, and you would just use this formula where we would say x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is also 1, squared, plus y2, which is 3, minus y1, which is -3, and then we would square that. Again, two negatives back to back would turn positive, and so you would come up with, again, 0 squared plus 6 squared, and then you take the square root. And so this, again, will give us the same exact answer, that the magnitude of AB is equal to 6. So either way works, whichever technique you prefer. Here's a second problem for you to try. See what you come up with for the magnitude.